All right, Disturbed Nerds. Today we have a very serious topic. We are going to be discussing conventions.
You mean the lack of conventions? That's what she's really talking about. The lack
Don't remind me, Keely. Come on, that's not fair. But with everything going on in the world, I don't want there to be no conventions. That's just insult to injury.
Unfortunately, she lives in dream world because there are no conventions. Most of them keep getting canceled or they're doing virtual, right? I think some are
Yeah,
doing virtual.
so San Diego Comic-Con was one of the first majors to do a virtual, but it sucked. So I have gone the past 3 years, and my heart is positively broken. I hate COVID. Took away our conventions. Keely, what did you have coming up?
Cousin Paige and I, we were supposed to be going to this anime con, and we both were supposed to dress up. We have matching costumes for going as something, right? Well, it got rescheduled because it was supposed to be in April, and it got rescheduled to October. And now it's not happening until next year, the 2021. So
Hmm.
that's disappointing because we both have our costumes and we were really excited about it.
See, I had enough forewarning that NYCC New York Comic Con was going to get canceled, so I didn't even plan a cosplay.
But
So upset.
we had planned our costumes long before COVID was a thing because we had gotten them and then we had gotten the tickets and then COVID happened and we were just like, oh, what's gonna happen? But now we have a solution to the fact that we can't wear our costumes anytime soon. We're just gonna wear them and walk around downtown on Halloween. Corey and I, we were planning on going to a Comic-Con in Hot Springs, and that got canceled. We actually have a small little Comic-Con here that Paige and I went to last year that I haven't looked, but it's probably canceled as well.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a Big Apple Comic Con, which is like just kind of the Manhattan area, but also got canceled. I had the poster for it because they gave out posters last year.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's the poster for the con that never was.
And like the virtual Comic-Con thing, I
It
don't.
sucks. I hope NYCC does better than San Diego.
People go to cons dress up and have fun and meet people, and I don't think that can really translate well virtually. Like it's different if you're just kind of watching actors and voice actors and everything, but like it's not the full experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with the way International Comic Con / San Diego Comic Con did it. They had panels record, so some of them were recorded like a week ago and then edited it, so there were like no comments, no fan interactions at all.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very dull and it fell flat. But the worst offense was how they handled vendors, because they basically gave you this digital map of what would have been the vendor's alley or vendor's area. I don't know what they call it at International, but basically you had to click like on the spot that they would have been and it brought up their shop name. Or you could go to a list with all the shop names A to Z. But there's 500 plus shops, and I don't know what these shops sell. I'm not clicking on the links to every one of them to see if it's something I'll buy. I need to actually walk through the shops and see and have that grab my attention. Because I drop money when I go to conventions. It's
Oh, I do
disgusting how much
too.
money I spend.
Yeah, I the first one I ever went to was in Oklahoma. That's where I had Sebastian stand, and I
Lucky
got like
bitch.
he was a really really nice. He was super freaking nice. I'm
I'm
telling you,
so
because
jealous.
I walked up and I had a kid in my arms. Okay, like because my brothers Cody and Cameron came. And Cameron was, I think, 6 or 7 at the time, so he was getting tired. So I picked him up because he wanted to be carried. But I also got to keep in mind, I'm dressed as a Winter Soldier, and I had a fake metal arm on my arm while trying to hold this child who is falling asleep on my shoulder. So I walk up and I'm like fumbling, holding the kid and my stuff, and I'm like, I'm so sorry because I dropped everything on the table. And he smiled and he's like, it's okay. I was like, oh. And Cody, he was like really shy and he couldn't really ask what Sebastian what he wanted his picture to say, so I had to.
Aw.
But no, that was also the same day I got broken up with while I was in line for the photo op. But anyways, that I dropped some money there because I got them stuff and then I got me some stuff, which
Yeah.
I just don't. I need to get. I think I got like 2 Winter Soldier artworks. I need to just put them in a thing. And then at the last con, I got a few things too. I have
Uh, every con I've ever been to, I have not spent less than $300. I have a problem, okay?
Okay, you spend way more than I do, but I also barely. Most of the time when I go to cons, I never have money.
See, I save up because I go to like 2 small cons a year and then I'll go to New York Comic Con. And New York Comic Con, it's like, I need this book, I need that comic, I need this random steampunk clothing article that costs $70, but I'm not going to question it. Like, I spend so much money. I got cute prints last year. I the biggest thing is literature because at in New York they in Artist Alley they always have authors and print publications. So I find a lot of books and authors that I wouldn't have otherwise and a lot of indie developers for video games, but there's also like some of the big boys too like Capcom, etc. It's just a great way to find out about things without stalking rando social media accounts. And I also get free shit. I get so much free shit. Like, I have a Sailor Moon poster I got for free, a Zelda Ocarina of Time poster I got for free, Castlevania coaster that I got for free. I like the swag.
I like the swag too. What else did I get? I got a wand that's actually very very well made. It's beautiful. It's Nagini. It's shaped like a snake and it's awesome. And I got, like I said, I got this beautiful artwork that's Black Canary and it's gorgeous. I love it.
I got a time turner one year, but I don't know where it is.
I got a time turner from a Renaissance fair actually in Oklahoma.
Hmm. I want to go to a Renaissance fair. They sound fun. I want to go LARPing, live action role playing.
They're so fun. The Renaissance Fair in Oklahoma was so much fun. That was my favorite one. And we went to one here. I think, yeah, it was Hot Springs, also canceled. Pretty sure it's canceled. And we went to that last year, where Pagan dressed as a cow. I love her though. She's like, I want to be your guys' cow. I'm like, all right, I'm a gypsy, Paige is a fairy, and you are a cow. All right.
It wasn't even like you were going as hunters or
I
shepherds.
know, right?
It didn't make sense.
That one, it was all right. I think they needed more advertising and more. They had some really cool vendors there. That's where I got Freya. I have a nice
Mhm.
little bronze little statue of Freya, and she's gorgeous. I walked past it and went, no, I don't need it. And then I went back and got it.
I get that. I did that with the skull teapot I have.
Ooh,
I
nice.
can't use it as an actual teapot. I don't think it'll work. However, it is very cool. Let me get it.
Have you seen Freya?
I have. You showed me when I was there.
I love Freya.
As I crawl over literally everything. Because my room is a fucking disaster. I just have not had the energy to put laundry
Oh,
away or
that's
anything.
super cool.
It has a flop. This is the corsage from one of my best friend's weddings. But
Oh, that's super cool.
yeah, like I said, I don't think it'll particularly function as a teapot. However, I enjoy it.
Badass. Yeah, I think
I'm
I
not
watched
getting
past Freya like twice and then I went back and got it. I was like, I'm getting her.
it. Yeah,
Get her.
I done one of the vendors at New York Comic Con is like these really amazing flasks, but they're like $200, and every year I walk past their stall because it's like Viking flasks and superheroes
Ooh.
etched into the flask. It's beautiful. They also have bound books, leather bound books. They are stunning, but they're so expensive. And I'm like, that's my entire budget for the con.
And then when we went to Anime Con, it was okay. I think this year will be better because well, it was supposed to be better because we went on a Sunday the last time we went with Pagan, and Sunday's always the worst day for some reason.
Well, it depends. Sunday is a good day for deals, but by me, Sunday for conventions is always like children half off. And the children are great. It's the parents that are a problem.
So Anime Con was okay the first time we went, and then I think, like I said, this time I think it will be better. Paige and I had a lot of fun at the little mini Comic Con that we went to, where we dressed as Bubbles and Blossom. We had a lot of fun, and it was funny because, and I swear this happens every freaking time I go to anything. Everyone always is like, "Can we take a picture?" We got so many people asking to
That's
take
so
pictures
much
with us.
fun.
It was like so cute because you have people that are like, "Oh, it's Powerpuff Girls," and everyone kept asking where Buttercup was, and I was like, "She couldn't make it. She's sick." And I actually think I said at one point, "Oh, she's dead," to an adult instead of to a kid.
No, when I wore the Steampunk Plague Doctor, I couldn't move 50 feet. It was a lot of fun because my cosplays in the past, I procrastinate, so they've always been half-assed, and I save money for the con, but I don't put money into my cosplay that often, so it usually looks half-assed. So I don't really get asked maybe 2 or 3 times during the convention, but the Steampunk Plague Doctor every 50 feet. It was a lot of fun though.
When we went to first one in Oklahoma, and I was dressed as the Winter Soldier, I wasn't even wearing my actual costume. I was just wearing my arm, and I was wearing my cargo pants and a black shirt, and I actually had on a little suspender skirt thing. It was like my lazy costume because I was not wearing it was the first day, Friday, so we were tired from traveling, so we were lazy. And I still got everyone asking to take pictures with me. And I wasn't even in the costume. And then the next day, I could not get 50 feet without people asking. They're like, "Your arm is so cool." And the thing is, that arm, that's what everyone really likes. They're like, "Is that metal?" I was like, no, it's duct tape. It is duct tape.
It
Really?
did look
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
It is duct tape and saran wrap and card and some, paper. But yeah, it's
We
duct
gotta
tape.
get you some PVC foam.
Yeah.
The
They're like,
cosplayers foam, use a heat gun and you could bend it and you could spray paint it.
see, and I wish I did. I live in a very bad place for this. I actually would love to actually do more cosplay things because I have a lot of fun with it.
They're so much fun. Like one time I went up as one of the main characters from the Japanese anime Steins Gate, and one of the things he does is he'll pick up the phone because it's a time travel anime. Don't ask. It's confusing. I can't explain it. And he'll pick up the phone and his code word to himself was El Sai Kongru, right? So I'm walking around in the cosplay, but like I said, it's iffy at best. I did what I could with $40, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking around, I'm texting, and a guy wearing a decent version of the cosplay I was doing just picks up his red phone, fake phone, looks at me dead in the eye, and goes, "El Sai Kongru." And I just lost it. I'm like, yo, fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love going to cons because they're so like I've never
The
had a bad
people.
experience at a con or even a Renaissance Fair anime con. They're always so nice and
Yes.
wonderful.
My first year at Comic-Con, I went with one of my best friends, but her and her cousin got on an exclusive line for Funko Pop. And I'm like, this is my first major convention. I'd been to about 6 or 7 before, but they were all smaller. This was my first, like, oh my God, it's New York Comic Con. I was so excited. I'm not going to stand in line for a Funko Pop exclusive. I'm not wasting half the day when I could be going to panels. I could be walking around Artist Alley and the vendors. So I wandered off by myself and had a great time by myself. So the last 2 years, I went by myself. I didn't even, like, my friend went, but I immediately split off from them. Because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? I love arguing with people in line. I love jumping into conversations, bullshitting with vendors, talking to the person sitting next to me at panels. It's an incredible experience by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But it's terrifying at first, but then you realize all these people think exactly like me.
I actually met someone because when I was with the boys, so like I said, I'm holding a child in my arm and I'm waiting in line and I'm holding our stuff that we've got. This girl in front of me, I think she's an EMT, so she travels all over. I guess she's like a traveling EMT and goes to cons, and her name's Amanda. And she's like, "Do you want me to help you?" And she helped carry my stuff. And then I really had to pee, but I didn't want to leave the boys. And she's like, "I can take care of them." And I'm like, kind of looked at the boys, looked at her, and went, "All right, going to pee."
That's how you know you didn't grow up in New York.
But she was really nice, and she did. She helped me carry the stuff because, like I said, I'm trying to hold a kid, and I've got this
Yeah.
bag of stuff that we bought, and I'm like, and then Cody is trying to hold my hand, and I'm like, Tristan ended up coming too because he wanted to get a picture with two people who were there. I ended up having a 30-minute conversation with the guy who plays Spike from Buffy.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about.
30
with
minutes.
the white hair, white spiky hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like 30 minutes.
It's been a while since I've actually watched Buffy instead of like had it on in the background.
Yeah, and I want you to know it was so funny because I'm talking to him and having a conversation, right? And Paige is next to me just
like us if we saw Castiel or Misha Collins, if you want to
well, I
use his
don't
real
know.
name.
I was all right with Sebastian. I was joking with him. So I think even if it was Jensen Ackles or anything, I would be okay. You know how much I love Bucky Barnes.
If it was Scarlett Johansson, I'd lose my shit. Or Tessa Thompson, she's great. Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But the thing is, I ramble when I get nervous and it comes off as friendly. So
no, it comes off like you're hitting on them.
But no, it was so funny because Paige was just, and I kept teasing Paige. I was like, Paige, talk to him. He's talking to you.
It probably would have been more like Paige. I
was like, he's just a person. Come on. But no, he was super nice because he did not have to stand there for 30 minutes to talk to me, okay? And it wasn't just me. He does that with everyone. Even Tristan's like, yeah, I was talking to him for a good 20 minutes.
That's awesome. But that's also good that, like, he goes to the smaller cons, because, like, a lot of them just go to the majors, like, PAX, the International Comic-Con, I know, is where most of the doctors go. Although Matt Smith was at one of the Comic-Cons I went to. However, it's like $200 for an autograph.
Oh yeah, that's how much it was for Sebastian. But
I can't justify it for an autographed photo.
I couldn't not do it because, first of all, he was going to Oklahoma. Do you know what Oklahoma has? Old people, racism, homophobia, and red dirt.
See, everything but the last one sounds like a problem to me. Because Oklahoma is where Tulsa is, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And so, like, when I heard that he was going, I almost didn't. And then I kind of kept looking at it, and Mom's like, you know you want to go, Keely, and you have the money to buy you tickets. You might as well go.
Yeah, Jason Momoa was at New York Comic Con the year Aquaman
I want to go
came
to
out.
a big one though. Like with the one in Oklahoma was Wizard World, so it was like kind of bigger than the ones I've gone in Arkansas, but not that much. So I want to go to a really big con. We have to go.
It's very okay. How big approximately was the con in Oklahoma?
I don't really have a reference.
All right, let me look up how many people went to New York Comic Con last year. In 2016, there were 180,000 people at New York Comic Con.
Oh yeah, totally not that big.
Yeah, you probably had like a 10,000 cap.
Not even that.
The one I went to in Maryland, KatsuCon, my very first convention in 2015, that was maybe 6,000, if that many, and I was freaking out. I was overwhelmed. I went with a few college students. My anime club held a fundraiser, and I won the tickets. It's how I got into K-pop, because on the way down, the person that was driving turned to me and went, "Do you listen to K-pop?" And I went, "No." And they went, "So not yet." So entire 4-hour drive was just K-pop, and I fell in love with it.
I need to find a K-pop playlist on Spotify.
Yeah, they're hit or
I like
miss.
K-pop. Yeah.
I like some of the older groups from the earlier 2000s.
But I want to get to a big one.
Like I said, it's very overwhelming. You have to prepare like granola bars, water bottles, Gatorade because you are going to crash, and take breaks. That is so important for people going to conventions. Please take breaks, especially if you're going more than one day. Give your body time to rest. Sit
True.
down for 20 minutes and eat your granola bar. That is a mistake I made the first time because the first day of Katsucon in Maryland, I died at like 10 p.m. because we had been traveling all day. And then we immediately got to the hotel and threw on our cosplays and walked around. Because Katsucon takes over the whole hotel. And it was beautiful with lots of grounds and amazing events. However, I didn't pace myself very well. I have learned since, but it's still very overwhelming and it's very easy for time to get away from you.
Mm-hmm. But no, I miss going to cons.
Me too. While I do like going by myself, I do wish I had like one or two friends in the area that I could mess around with and stick with and actually enjoy myself with. I was supposed to go to Anime Boston with a mutual friend of ours, Nick, and one of my best friends, Ileana. So I was so excited. I think it was supposed to be in April. So things just started getting crazy. So it was very up in the air. Is it going to be canceled? Is it not going to be canceled? I was on their Facebook page every day trying to figure out what was going on. Because we had an Airbnb set up in Boston. We were so excited. And then, yeah.
Paige and I go two things together. Like I said, she went to Oklahoma Comic Con with me, and we went to the anime con, the Comic Con here, and the anime con, and the Renaissance Fair. Because I know she'll have fun, and I'll have fun with her. So, um, we always try to invite Pagan, but Pagan isn't really into that stuff.
There's
Where'd
just
you go?
something about going to conventions alone. It's hard to explain the freedom of not having to communicate with someone. If you want to go to different panels, you don't have to try to find each other in a sea of 100,000 people. So there's definitely good and bad in it both. Cosplays, though. I am the worst. Half of the time I'm at a convention is asking people for photos of their cosplays.
Oh, I do that all the time.
And the
I don't
cosplay competitions, oh my god, amazing.
they're so awesome. But it's also it's so I love that everyone like compliments each other. Like I literally had someone at the last con that Paige and I went to shout, "You're a great blossom!" Just shouted across there. I was like, I don't know who said that, but thanks.
I love it so much.
Right?
I miss it. There are only two things I look forward to a year: New York Comic Con and Pride. That's because New York City Pride, I feel the same way I do at conventions. All these people, they think exactly like me. You feel such a strange sense of comfort that you don't get the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You're
You
like
finally
among my people.
exactly. You're with your people. They get you and they understand and everything. They love the same things you do.
No, my soul can't handle this.
It's so depressing. You know what I think? I think we just need to have our own Comic Con.
You know, I thought about it. I really have. But by the time you get the insurance for the venues, by the time you get all the safety precautions, because at least by me, you always have to have some sort of safety, either for rape allegations, for stolen items, for fights. You always have to have some sort of security aspect. By the time you do everything legally and do it right, how much money you have poured into it. And that's before marketing, that's before any special guests. It's just, so much.
It'd be so cool though.
I've thought about this. Cause I'll go to a really small convention like Big Apple Con in Manhattan, be like, I could do this.
We totally could. If I lived closer, I feel like we totally could do a convention.
Yeah, I don't
We're
think we
both
could do it in the South though. I don't know how well that would go.
well, I have yeah, but
Although it'd
if
be a lot cheaper to do it by you.
we could do it, we our video could be Mom's Cemetery.
I think it would be a lot of fun to plan a convention. I was part of a convention for my college's committee for it, and it just absolutely fell apart. So I'm very tentative to try something like that again.
Yeah, I like planning things.
We plan and then it doesn't work and then we fall behind.
Hey, we're still doing this. It's okay. We have lives. We will figure it out. We're still, but the thing is, and this is, I truly believe this, we both love this podcast so much.
Yes.
It's not going to fall at all. Like, there may be moments where we can't record, which that happens. Shit happens, life happens, everything happens. But I think we both love it. I know I love it. I hope you love it. If you don't love it, then what the hell?
I absolutely love it. I would not be sitting here after working 10 hours to record if I did not love it.
Exactly. And we actually have people listening to us, okay?
Which is kind of exciting.
Yeah, my professors are listening to this podcast. I'm not even freaking kidding.
See, I'm still new at my job, so I just found out that one of the guys I've been BSing with at work is a weeboo, so I have to be like slowly slide it in and be like, oh, by the way, my friend and I have this nerdy podcast. You'd love it. He was wearing a shirt from a Japanese anime today, and I was like, you're weeboo trash! And he just went, whoa. He went, yes, but slow down. I got so excited.
My professor of the class I dropped listened to the episodes, and then she was like, I have to watch season 2 of Umbrella Academy before I can listen to those episodes. I was like, yes, please do. Don't spoil things for yourself, okay? Please.
Yeah.
I haven't been in a new series mood. I need my comfort series. I need my comfort shows.
So you're watching Law and Order, Criminal Minds, Supernatural, Charmed. Am I missing one? Buffy, maybe, depending on how you're feeling.
Yeah, right now it's been Criminal Minds, and I need to get back on the Supernatural because those I'm still gonna watch the freaking new season because obviously, duh.
I'm still like 3 seasons behind. I just
I'm like
have not had time.
I'm like a season behind, but I also still know what's going on because I watch it with Mom, and Mom tells me, and she's like, "Oh my God," and I'm like, "Spoil it, just tell me. I don't care. I already have been spoiled because of the internet."
I follow all the actors and actresses on social media. So they were all crying the other day about their last day of filming.
I
was like, Misha Collins, baby, no!
They were all like, this is like that's their baby. Like they've
Jensen
been there
Ackles
for
is
so
keeping the
long.
Impala.
Yeah, Jared is getting one too.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he's actually more of a car guy than Jensen. Like he loves cars.
But that's been his baby for 16 years, 15 seasons. That's his baby.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, when I read all of their tweets, I was crying myself. I was like, oh. And obviously, we're going to be seeing Jensen Ackles in The Boys season 3, and then Jared Padalecki is actually going to be playing Cordell Walker in the reboot of Walker, Texas Ranger. And I want you to know, this is going to sound really dorky, I loved Walker, Texas Ranger as a kid. That was one of my favorite shows.
Didn't really watch it.
Was one of my favorite shows along with Charmed. And so what would happen is it would come on, I believe it was USA. And when it came on, my grandpa, who actually didn't like it, he would turn it on for me, just like he would turn on Charmed for me, because those were my two favorite shows growing up. And
That was
so,
my parents with Inuyasha. They were like, because it was on the weekdays before I went to school. So they would put it on at like 6 o'clock in the morning or whenever it aired. And they'd be like, here, just watch this. We don't care. Because they didn't really understand why I liked Japanese anime growing up. They didn't get it. And now we're getting a sequel, which I'm excited. I'm
me
apprehensive.
too.
I wish there were conventions so we could talk about it.
But anyways, I loved Walker Texas Ranger. Now it's so cheesy and I can't watch it because it did not age very well, but I'm super excited about the reboot with Jared Padalecki. I'm so excited.
I'd have to watch some of the original. It's like with Twilight Zone. Some episodes aged better than others.
Yeah. But I am also super excited about the sequel to Inuyasha. I used to watch that on Adult Swim, and like I told you, I could not find the final act subbed or dubbed anywhere when it came out. Anywhere. I looked at every single freaking website I knew of, and even ones that people had given me, and I could not find it even fucking subtitled. And so I watched that entire season in fucking Japanese. Did I have any idea what they were saying?
Ugh, Keely.
No idea. I had a few words that I could kind of figure out what they were saying.
Well, yeah, you watch enough Japanese anime, you pick up on it, like Ikadakimasu. You just pick up on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't remember what that word means, but I did pick
Thank
up
you
on
for the
some.
meal.
Yeah,
It's because they say it almost every episode in almost every anime I have ever watched. Especially Naruto, because Naruto is always eating at the ramen shop, so my ear catches it now.
but no, I watched it in fucking Japanese, and I cried afterwards. And then it finally came out. I finally could find it in fucking had subtitles, and I'm like, finally, Jesus, I know what they're saying.
Yeah,
I know what happened.
Probably on a 2-week delay with subtitles.
But no, I was like, finally, I just want to finish this. I've been waiting so long. You know,
Yeah.
but I'm super excited about the sequel.
Yes, I'm so excited. But I'm also apprehensive. Please, please, please be good. A lot of sequels, they're very hit or miss, mainly Boruto. Boruto was a miss. I didn't watch much of it, so.
I didn't watch it at all, mainly because I still haven't finished Naruto because filler.
Well, yeah. That's why I never finished Bleach.
Same here. Why I have not finished Bleach.
I
And I
stopped
love.
around episode 100 and gave up.
I think I stopped around episode 102, and it's not like I love Bleach. I actually like Bleach better than Naruto.
It was a
That's
good
because
premise. It
yeah,
just
I
got
like.
caught in filler hell.
Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like their filler episodes did anything like plot wise.
That's where Naruto differs. A lot of Naruto episodes, even though, yes, they are filler, it'll still either give important backstory to a character, build relationships, or it'll progress the plot even a tiny little bit.
Yeah, and see, Bleach didn't do that
No, not at all. The
at
Gray
all.
Man had a similar issue where it just ended up in filler hell. And they weren't decent fillers.
Yeah.
It was like rehashing backstory that we already got from the main plot. Was it good?
Yeah, I used to watch a lot more anime when I was younger. Now I don't. I have to be in the right mood for anime. And I kind of hate myself for that. Like, I wish I could just sit down and watch some anime like my little 15-year-old
I
self
miss
did.
watching anime with other people. When I was in college, I had 4 roommates that loved anime. I was part of anime club and we would watch it. All my friends watched anime, so we would just be at a party watching anime and it was so beautiful, and I miss having that, so I don't watch as much anime because it's not the same. It's like watching a comedy movie by yourself. You're just kind of like, huh, huh, huh. You know what I
See,
mean?
yeah, and I only ever watch anime by myself. Like
But
Tristan,
it should be an
Tristan,
experience.
like the only person I really watch anime with, besides like I've watched Ruby with Paige and Pagan, you know, because I love Ruby. But Tristan actually,
I
when I
couldn't
was,
get into Ruby. I didn't like the
I
art
love
style.
Ruby. I love it. Gets so much better. I
I
love the
heard
premise of
that, but
it.
I can't get past the first season. I
No, once I
can't.
got past, if you get past the first season, I'm telling you, it is such a great original
And I like
premise.
Rooster Teeth. I think they do a great job on everything they do, which is why it kills me that I can't get into Ruby.
Yeah. But Tristan used to watch anime with me. Like he watched there was this little mini one that was called Peach Girl
How I
that
think I've heard of that.
that Tristan and I watched. He got pissed off at me because I watched a few episodes ahead of him while he was
That's a
out
day
hanging
in
out
the
with his
life,
friends.
right?
No, it's about this girl who's a swimmer or something.
Sweetheart, that's a day in the life anime.
Yeah, yeah, it's very, very cute. And then there's this other one called Aishiteru Baby that Tristan loved. And again, he got pissed off because I watched a few episodes ahead of him. He
See,
freaking
I
punched me
liked
in the
like the
arm.
psychological thrillers, the horror anime, bloody anime, magical girl, some magical girls like Madoka. I like the fucked up anime,
I
which
like some
anyone
of
who
those.
knows me is not surprised.
I watched a lot of Hellsing. Um, I
Hellsing
watched
was
Blood.
good.
I watched Blood Plus. Yeah, I liked that a lot.
Okay.
Um,
Rosario, I liked Rosario Vampire more than Blood Plus,
Rosario Vampire, I liked. It was
which didn't age well. I saw a clip of an older episode of Rosario Vampire because I watched it in middle school, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, the animation did not age well.
Yeah, I watched Death Note. I watched
Who
Bleach and
didn't watch
Naruto,
Death Note?
obviously. Obviously, I watched Inuyasha. I loved Chibi Vampire.
I want to rewatch Mushishi so bad.
I don't think I would never watch that one.
Because it's hard to follow as a kid, but as you get older, I want to rewatch it, see if I take anything more away from it.
Yeah, and I really okay. This is I really liked Vampire Night, but I hated Yuki. Like I
I
hated her.
hated almost all the characters in
The
Vampire Night.
only like I loved Vampire Night. I liked the concept and I adored freaking Kaname and Zero. I really liked their
Oh, the
characters, but I
boyfriend.
fucking hated Yuki. So I never finished it because I hated her. If you got rid of Yuki, I would have watched that show completely. And I actually used to read manga. I read all of like the manga that we had at the library in middle school. I read a lot of Fruits Baskets. Um,
I don't like Day in the Life. I get bored. Where's the blood? Where's the gore? Where's the fucked up jokes?
that's why I shook it up with Helsing and Blood Plus. I liked them. What was the other one? Oh, Showbits was weird and interesting.
Okay. The only Day in the Life that I really was over the moon about was your not Your Name. That was a movie that was fantastic.
Need
Love
to watch that.
Stage. Love Stage was so cute. So it's about so these two little boys grow up in the acting industry. However, one little boy is so pretty that his father dresses up him as a woman for the as a girl for the role, and it's so cute and it's pretty, and they meet the little boy that was pretty leaves the acting industry and doesn't get back into it until years later, and the guy that he starred with is now a big time movie actor, and they fall in love, and it's so
Oh,
cute because there was a lot of confusion because he thought he was a girl, and it's really cute, and it's done very well as a BL boys love.
oh, that's good.
It's done
Um,
very well.
I wish I could watch get more into anime like I could when I was younger. Like I started watching Sword Art Online, and I liked
Oh,
that.
just stop after episode 8. Stop after episode 8. It was so good, and then it went bad, and then it
That's what I
continued
heard.
being bad. And
That's
I
what I've
heard it's
heard.
gotten better, but I'm not sitting through 4 seasons of bad.
Oh, there's this other series. It's called. Oh, I loved it. Fushigi Yugi.
Okay.
It was a great concept. Okay, so you have this they totally ripped this off of Inuyasha. But yeah, this modern girl. First season was so good. It was so good. And then they should have just ended it right there. And then they had the second and the third season. I was like, what the hell was
Yes.
that?
But then
Trash.
I'll
That's what it
watch
was.
amazing shows that get 1 season, and I'm like, what happened?
I
Okay.
know. So I loved Fushigi Yugi. I can't watch Ranma 1/2 anymore because it did not age well. But I used to adore that. I used to watch that with my friend actually. Um,
I really liked Black Cat growing up, but it did not age well.
see, I
My
never watched
friends and
that.
I tried to watch a few animes from our childhood, and we were just sitting there going, that's not how I remembered it. Except Black Butler. Black Butler is still an art form.
See, I never watched Black Butler
How? Literally, how? It's one of the best animes that has ever been created.
because I don't understand. What is it about?
He is one hell of a butler.
Is he a
He's a
demon?
demon from hell
Oh, okay.
who's trapped to the spoiled, bratty child who is the last known descendant of a fortune. So he basically has to wait to eat the child's soul. So
Uh,
he acts as a butler to the child.
uh,
And it's set in we're not going to talk about the time period, but it's basically set in Victorian England, but there's some modern day elements. They fucked up the time settings a little bit, but think about it in Victorian era clothes, but modern vernacular.
all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Fushigi Yugi, first season, great. Second and third season, trash. Complete trash. I actually really liked the way it ended. Why did you have to do a second season and then a third season? The second season was eh. Third season, they introduced some other chick and it made no sense. And I'm like, why?
That's kind of how I feel about Ray Zero. It had such a beautiful first season.
What was it?
Tokyo Ghoul. I'm
Um,
sorry, Ray Zero is the name of the second season. Tokyo Ghoul was brilliant, but the problem is it didn't touch on a lot of characters that were introduced early on in the manga. So
mm,
season 2 suddenly threw all these characters at you that have a relationship with each other and with the main character, and you're just like, where the fuck did you come from? And unless you read the manga and you know their story. And I'm a few seasons behind on Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, which I feel terrible about because they're
I
like
haven't
two of the
watched either of
hottest
those.
animes.
Watched either of those.
My Hero Academia is so good, so good. Did you ever watch Fairy Tail?
I watched bits and pieces of Fairy Tale, but like with Soul Eater, I couldn't get into Fairy Tale.
I loved Soul Eater. I enjoyed Fairy Tail up to a point. After a while, I got bored. But for that time that I absolutely loved Fairy Tail, Boku no Hero Academia is 50 times better. It's very well written, the characters are great, the kids with superpowers thing is so overdone, but it's done very well.
I'll have to watch it at some point. Thank you all for listening to us ramble. I don't actually know what this episode was about, honestly.
It was about Comic-Con, it was about conventions, it was about exploring our interests with other people.
Yes, and then we also talked about anime.
Again, exploring our interests, a lot of big A big part of conventions is enjoying other people who share the same interest as you and feeling like one big community of people who could talk about anime, talk about video games, talk about superheroes, and not be looked at funny. It's great.
It is so wonderful, and we're hoping we get to go to a convention at some point. Until
I miss
then,
it so much.
until then, y'all wonderful people have us just disturbed nerds to keep you entertained.
Yes, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you for listening.
Ciao.
Bye.